Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here. Myself, Jared. I'm on for video stats. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. I'm 6 off 100, so I'd really appreciate if you guys could get me to that number, please. As I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. And talking of news and trying to diversify a little bit, there has been some rumours this week that the NFL is going to be heading to Paris next season, namely the New Orleans Saints. It makes sense. Anybody who knows their history knows that New Orleans, with its obvious French connections, with the history there, it seems like an obvious fit for them to head to Paris and be the team that initially goes there because of that, like I say, history, etc., etc. But it's interesting as well because, you know, I saw a joke the other rounds on X that people said National Football League or International Football League. And I think it's very interesting the direction the NFL is going in. I am a big NFL fan. I say a big NFL fan. I'm a guy who recently has got into it more and more. You know, it was always sort of a passing watch for me. And now in recent years, I feel like they've marketed themselves really well over in the UK. And they've got themselves in a position where you can't not talk about them. And I myself enjoy watching it. I have not been to a game over here, which I'm a bit gutted about, but I'd love to go. I'd love to go over there as well. I think the NFL are looking at going and getting probably an international game. I'd say every game week would be the plan for me, in my opinion. You know, Jacksonville, we know, are Wembley's sort of home team. They're the UK's home team, so to speak. Shahid Khan obviously owns Fulham as well and owns Wembley. Anyone who's been to the Wembley Club shop will see that Jacksonville has a little corner where their merch is being sold. I think it's getting to the stage now where the NFL wants a slot, an international slot every game week, because I think for TV broadcast deals, it means that on the East Coast, they would get a morning game as well, which would be obviously fantastic for them. They would be thrilled to bits for that and seeing that and having that option, which I completely get in a way. And for American sports fans who, if they love something, and will watch it, they're so passionate. I read apparently that they're looking at other cities as well. There was obviously Berlin, Madrid this international game week. Both looked absolutely fantastic, by the way. The Madrid game looked unreal. The one thing I would say, and the one caveat that I do think the NFL have got to be conscious of is they're not sending great teams anymore. You know, we had the Browns and the Jets on one of the games we had the Browns and the Jets, at both the Tottenham games. Not great. I'm trying to remember who else we've had. We've had the Commanders and the Dolphins sent over to Madrid. Not great. I know the Colts and Falcons put on a show in Berlin. Kansas and LA put on a show in Brazil. I think, though, they've got to be conscious of that because New Orleans, anyone who knows them, they're not doing great this year. And to send them again, if you're looking at building something, is quite an interesting stance, an interesting tactic. But I guess their theory is they can take over. I wonder as well what the future holds for the NFL Europe market. Are we heading to a point now where it goes to an NFL, a European division, and then you potentially get a wildcard entry? I mean, we know air travel now is quicker than ever and easier than ever. Could we get to that stage? How would it work? The NBA are doing a league in Europe. The NFL have done that before. It didn't work. Obviously, London had the Monarchs, but it didn't work. But could it happen again? Could it work again? That's the question. I don't know, because we're seeing now, I think, with London, and I hesitate to use it, I think we're seeing NFL fatigue now, where people are always going, yeah, but what's the next step? And to the point where these 3 games this year, they weren't marketed very well at all, to be honest with you. And I don't want to sound ungrateful because I'd love to see a game full stop, but the ticket prices are high and they're not marketing it very well. What do they do? I don't know. I'd love to know what the NFL's plan is for Europe in the future and what they're looking at doing. I mean, they're looking at a Middle East game. We know they're going to Australia next year. I think South Korea is a logical step as well for them. As far as Canada hasn't been done yet, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But time's looking up. And listen, if it means more games midday for us, then good stuff. Or middle of the afternoon suits me better. It means the game just roll the way through. As always, guys, though, please like, please comment, subscribe. It's the first video I've actually done on NFL, but I do love it as a sport, and I love the pizzazz and the show of it all. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great day.